destroyer of worlds.
Lords of the Fallen is an action RPG set in a fantasy world, so we start off with a conflict that took place about 8,000 years ago, where there was a huge battle between mankind in this world and actually their god and his army. And they were able to defeat this god and his army, and their legend has it that in some attempt to break free, he stuck his hand through Earth itself, and this created a mountain range that people can see nowadays. The rest of that, they forgot over the time. So all of a sudden, these enemies of old, they reappeared, they overrun their cities, they don't know what to do, and so in some last attempt to save themselves, they take prisoners out of their cells to fight for them. And one of the worst of them all is Harkin, who's our hero in this story.
One game that comes to mind when you look at Lords of the Fallen is Dark Souls. Can you elaborate a bit on where Lords of the Fallen is different from Dark Souls and where they overlap?
I think they're really both in the same genre, which is action RPGs with a heavy focus on realism if you fight, on timings and so on. So I think there are the similarities, but I think we do many things differently. If you really play it, it feels different. I think really it feels, some people compare it more to Darksiders maybe, or other games. But most importantly, what we want to do is we don't want to have a punishing game. We don't want you to spend 40 hours of gameplay and then you realize you made a mistake at the beginning and you need to start over again, or you just need 1 hour of replay to reach a boss or something and you throw the controller out of the window. This is just not the way we like to play these kinds of games, so we try to do it a little bit more like for people like us. We say we want a challenging game, we want a core game, but we don't want to be punished if we die. We want that we learn from it. We want that people don't say like, what, why did I just die? Oh, I hate it. But they say, of course, okay, I did it wrong, but now I think I know how to do it. And they have a second turn at things. And they say, okay, yes, now I made it. Okay, and I'm one step further. So you're allowed to save your game at safe spots, and there's no such thing like enemies respawning, and so you can really say, okay, I'm here. Okay, like touch base and cool, I can go on, and there's no punishment for that. So you're really invited to experiment, but of course it will be tricky to get through the game, and you will need to train your skills definitely and make the right decisions. But still, it's really about when you die, you learn and you feel good doing it the second time. That's the idea behind it. Yeah, I mean, it's really about this dual kind of fighting, and we exaggerated a little bit. Like when you wear light armor and light weapons, you're really like lightning fast, so you can really like dodge and go in and out, do hit and run, which is already feels a little bit like supernatural if you do it. And if you're a heavy guy, you're really slow and you really have slow movement. So we try to exaggerate that a little bit, but help you in gameplay with it. So that gameplay comes first and then comes realism, but it comes very close after. So it should really all feel physically correct so that you as a player can plan. So you can say, okay, so it takes me that time to swing with my hammer, so I should keep that distance if there's a fast enemy or something, so that you really learn that, and when there's a new situation, a new enemy, you can use what you learn, and not you need to say, oh, I don't know what's going on here, I just try something out, but you can say, oh, I think I know how to do this. That's the idea behind it. You will gain a lot of items when you move through the game. You'll get a lot of really special powers. You can level up your character a lot. But there are different things that you can do. For example, you collect experience points there. You can carry them with you. If you do so, they get more valuable. If you go to a save point, you can put them there, like bank them, and then if you come back later, they're still there. But they're not so valuable. So you can play risky, like keep all the experience points until you want to spend them for new leveling up. Or you say, okay, I defeated this enemy, go back to the save point, bang my experience, and then I go on, which would be a bit like coward style of playing. It would be more like I would play, more or less. So you got different options there, and also there's a lot of different weapon styles that you have, a lot of different gear that you can pick up. So customization is really big in this game. If you just go the straight path of the game, then you might miss some really cool treasure. You can still do so, but you're really encouraged to explore, and there's a lot waiting for you. I mean, we have more than 10 different weapon types that you can try out, and they all feel feel totally different, have totally different mocap animations, timings, effects, and so on. You'll find more than 100 weapons in this game that you can then try out, and they have different stats, and you can even level them up, put some rune stones in there to give them special powers. So there's a lot of things you can do in that respect. And regarding to character classes or customization, and you can also mix and match a lot of stuff. You're bound with one set of magic that you pick at the beginning of the game. There are 3 sets, like warrior magic, rogue magic, and cleric magic. But the gear that you attach to that is really up to you. So you can play as a warrior at the beginning with your magic and your gear, but then you say, I want to be faster, so I try out the rogue gear that is cooler and the faster, smaller weapons. So you try and find a style of your own, and this is really what we want to encourage. People try to find their way of playing the game.
And for which systems, and when is Lords of the Fallen coming out?
Lords of the Fallen is coming out this fall for PS4, Xbox One, and PC.